Do you read me?
Be advised, you are coming in weak and unreadable.
Say again, Com Tower. This is Haji. Do you read me?
Pacho, this is Com Tower. I read you Lima Charlie.
Com Tower, Com Tower. Request permission to launch and commence a field op. Over.
Stand by. Pacho, permission granted. Say again, permission granted.
Roger that. Launching podcast in 3, 2. You are now entering the field op with your host, Pacho Correa, Chief Warrant Officer 3, United States Marine Corps retired. Get some. Hurrah!
Get some. Hurrah. Bark, bark, woof, woof. All that good trash, everybody. Hey, another Baby Friday is upon us. Thursday night, Friday's Eve, however you want to see it. And hey, the week is almost over, man. So we're just over the hump. It's all good. We have an awesome show for you today. But before we get into that, hey, the show is freedom. It's all about freedom of speech, First Amendment, as well as Second Amendment, all that good stuff. I served for 20 plus years in the Marine Corps, protecting our great Constitution of this great nation of ours. So, with that being said, if you like what you hear, hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, pass it to your friends, like a joint at a party. Or if you don't like it, hey, you have the right to also move on and listen to something else, perhaps something on sitchradio.com. I mean, there's quite a lot of great shows on there that you can pop in and feel your need for podcasting. See what I did there? Anyways, let's get to it. I mean, hey, today we got a great Sean. We got the great John Gangloff. He's as a matter of fact the host of a show on YouTube called TRD John. So let's bring John into the fold and let's welcome him to the field op.
How's it going, man?
What's going on, big dog? How are you, man?
I'm doing good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, my pleasure. As soon as Kevin told me, hey, man, you should talk to my son-in-law because he's got this great gig going, and I was like, holy shit, man, that is pretty sweet, dude. So, but John, before we get into all that awesome stuff, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your career, military and all that good stuff, man.
Yeah, man. So my name's John. I was in the United States Air Force for 9 years or so. Got out this past September. I was F-16 avionics. So basically anything that allowed that aircraft to fly, communicate, track targets, kill targets, anything except for the motor and what made the pilot feel comfortable, we repaired. So did that for about 7.5-ish years. And then was also in the security world too with the Air Force. But got out last September, and now I work for myself. Got a YouTube channel and traveling the United States. So still kind of going on TDYs and stuff, but it's for myself now, which is a big change of pace.
Do you miss it? Do you miss that lifestyle? Of being in the military and stuff.
I miss camaraderie for sure, just because there's those times where you always get to talk to people all the time. You always have people around you that are kind of going through the crap like with you at the same time. So it builds you up, especially when I was in Korea, like a year in Korea, just you're going through all that together. And now you work with yourself and you just talk to people behind a computer screen, which is kind of different. But when I go on these trips and stuff, I've met a lot of cool people that I never thought I'd meet, which is very, very cool.
Yeah, and you're right. I think that's. I always like to ask that question because that's a common denominator amongst those of us who served and everything. Yeah, you miss the camaraderie, the brotherhood, sisterhood, whatever. Because unlike those of us who graduated high school and then went to college, that's and fraternities, sororities, all that good stuff. Not taking away from that, but the bond that you build, with those folks that when you're in the suck, whether it's boot camp, 1 year deployment in the rock,
right?
And miserable doing field ops. You see what I did there? Doing field ops, in the snow, all that shit, deployments in Iraq, whatever. I mean, that, that right there builds such a strong bond, among other things, combat and whatever else, that, I'm not paying for a friendship. I'm not, got a secret handshake. I mean, by right of you going through, that rite of passage, whether Marine Corps, Army, Navy, Air Force, you're in the group. And yeah, we may talk shit to one another among services, but it's kind of like it's the thing it's the gentleman thing to do amongst one another. But God forbid an outsider tries to enter that circle.
100%.
It's like, like
everyone just stares at them real quick, like, what the hell did you say? No.
Yeah, when it comes in a fucking bar fight, I mean, Army, Navy, Air Force, whatever, Space Force now too.
Right.
Hey, dude, watch your step, because
exactly.
you might step onto some shit. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
That's great, man. So and I think I was thinking of a name for the show of something quirky and it's catchy and everything, but just I think the Bird Keeper and oh shit, I just went blank. the Bird Keeper and the influencers I thought it was such great, because your job was it still is. I mean, very critical. I mean, I work for Collins Aerospace, and so we work on some of your part, some of the military parts, and some of the birds part, the landing gear piece. So, I mean, you kept birds, up in the air. I mean, some shit happened. I mean, that pilot, and that's millions of dollars too. I mean, that will go down, and now you're an influencer. I mean, which is a very powerful platform, man. So how did you slide into that? How did that come about?
Yeah, so I mean, with the Air Force and even before it too, I just always tinkered with stuff. So I guess that's why with my ASVAB, I got pretty high for mechanical stuff.
Right.
And then I went in for avionics for the 16s, and it was very, very hands-on. But then the YouTube came about because my very first car was a Toyota 4Runner, and then I wanted a truck. So then I sold it when I was in boot camp for, in today's off-road, stupid, inflated Toyota prices, some guy got a freaking steal for a California 4Runner, like super clean and everything. I mean, now I could probably sell that thing for like $9,000 more than what I did at the time. It's just stupid car inflation right now. But I got another 4Runner. I went on the YouTube to find crap out about it, and there was nothing. I was like, how is this platform 8 years old and there's nothing about it? So I just made a video. It ranked really high with the algorithm gods of YouTube. And then next thing I know, I got an email saying, hey, do you want to get paid for this? It started off at like $5 a month, $10 a month, then $100 a month. As the more and more videos I made, and then all these brands from China that are like, hey, do you want to test our cheap lights? Yeah, sure. So then it turned into a DIY channel for people, showing them how to install stuff on their vehicles and whatnot. And then Toyota reached out for product review, like car reviews and stuff. So that's kind of what started my car review side of the channel too. And then that has really allowed the channel to take off for people that are looking just for, I guess, not the typical statistical review. It's just like, hey, what does a normal guy think of a vehicle? So that has allowed me to go to Texas, go to other events in California with Toyota, and it's been really, really cool. And you just see the revenue grow and grow and grow, and you essentially made a business out of it. Like, I just got a credit card for this stupid like YouTube channel. It's crazy. Never would have thought that I would have a business card for what was a hobby, and now it's a business. It's pretty awesome.
It goes back to the old saying, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
100%.
And yeah, exactly. I mean, and very few people get to have such a great segue and step into a platform that, hey, you know what? I love working on vehicles, specifically on Toyotas. Which, by the way, my dad had, I think it was this 88, 89 Toyota 4Runner, red, black top. Dude, I mean, this thing was a beast. I used to love not the stick shift, but the gear shifter on it. It had that, like the pilot handle on it.
Right.
Oh, that truck was fucking awesome, man. You know, and but very few people get to segue into some of that and monetize on it and advance to the next level.
Right.
So I was trying to transition on into the motorcycle side. I reached out to KTM but I did get to teach and all these other things. But to build a platform on YouTube, I mean, that's great. How long have you been going on that?
So I got the vehicle in 2017, like September of 17. So really since then, so it's been 6 years. No, that doesn't sound right. I guess so. Holy crap. So I guess it's been like 6 years, but it's really just been super part-time until recently. So basically when COVID happened, the military, at least the Air Force, I'm not sure how other branches were, it was probably base specific too, but we were going 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, which doesn't really make sense. But anyways, so we would go into the Air Force for 2 weeks and then come out, and then the other teams would like tag team in basically. And in those 2 weeks off, I really focused on real estate stuff and YouTube as well. And it drove that revenue to match basically what Uncle Sam was paying me to go. I was like, well, holy crap, if this is only a couple weeks out of the month and actually focusing on this is doing something, it may be worth doing. So fast forward, well, however long COVID lasts, I guess it's still a thing right now, to that September. And I was just like, I'm done, like at the end of my enlistment. So there were those naysayers, like you said, especially because I was right at 10 years almost. I did 9 years and they're like, oh, you're halfway, just finish. And the people that are telling you that, they look fucking miserable. And it's like, no, I'm not going to finish and look like you at the end of this. So I don't know, man. I just got out, and it was probably one of the best decisions me and Bree, because she's included in all that stuff, like had ever done. It was awesome.
I've been doing it. It's funny. I think for a lot of people, their free time during COVID, hopefully a lot of people, I know myself and just like you, it's like, okay, how do I kill the time? And basically, when I was working in Qatar, my job, I got to a point where there was nothing for me to do. And that's another story. But I was like, okay, well, how do I fill this time constructively instead of because social media, it's great, but it's also brain candy. I mean, it's just another great video, fucking cats, whatever.
Right.
Anyways, I started watching videos about realty and wholesaling, multifamily and this and that. So I started, but Grant Cardone, is one of the guys I follow. I mean, dude is awesome. But he says, hey, you're gonna have people, those naysayers that have never taken a risk in their life,
right?
And they're and which is fine, whatever. But they're not that entrepreneur mindset. But if you constantly see yourself, ahead, you're doing all the things, and you're not, and you like to get uncomfortable all the time, that's what builds success, dude. And I mean, you swung for the grandstand, and I mean, you hit that ball, man. And I mean, you and Bree, I mean, you guys are making it happen, and because of that, I mean, you're a testament to that mentality that, hey, you know what, good, bad, or indifferent, fuck it, we're doing this, and we're gonna make it happen, dude. So I saw some of your videos. So you just came from Texas, right? You were at an event on Texas. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And that's 100% true. Just to touch on that real quick, like all the friends that I have right now that are contemplating getting out or wanting to get out, I'm like, if you are okay and you've been smart, like just do it. I mean, if you're contemplating getting out, I would say just be smart and do it. But yeah, man, Texas was pretty cool. We went there. It was called Toyota Headquarters Confidential. Basically, it's just they had all their cars there. They had over 100 car influencers. Like the big people were there, like TFL. I'm not sure how much car stuff you watch on YouTube for reviews, but like TFL, Doug DeMuro, like all these big hitters.
I've heard Doug DeMuro. I've popped in there a couple of times.
Yeah, so I mean, all these big hitters were there, and it's just something crazy that I was able to go to something like that, especially because I'm so niche just with Toyota, and these other people get thousands and thousands more views than I do. But it was a pretty cool event. It was almost all week. Got to be in Texas, drive some of their vehicles around, have free range, make all the social media posts possible. You know, I did Instagram Reels, Instagram posts, stories, YouTube stories, YouTube shorts, full length videos. I mean, once you start to go down this content stream, there's a lot to it. It's not just, hey, this guy makes videos, that's cool. Like, people don't see, like what you said, that have the entrepreneurial mindset to like link all their shit together. They don't see how much it takes to just post stuff on YouTube. So it's nice working for yourself and feeling that you're never working a day in your life. But dude, to run your own business, I mean, it's crazy. There's a lot of stuff always going on with it, and you're always thinking about it.
You're right. And, you know, people see to some degree what we allow them to see, you know. I'm very grateful that I have the team of Sitch Radio behind me, and they help me, you know, in the back end. You know, they take care of some, you know, a lot of the stuff, you know, in the back end, upload the videos and this and that. But, you know, to also, hey, you know, okay, what's your next show? You know, who's the guest? You know,
Right.
get their things, or what's the theme for the next show? Along other things, and as well as other, you know, you guys are also a team of realtors. You know, it's the same thing. You know, I'm working on other things, and people are like, oh man, he's got shit. You know, man, they got shit going on.
Right.
But it's like, dude, you don't get to see the struggles that I'm going through. Like, oh, hey, this guest just, you know, canceled because of XYZ, or you know, this contractor that I'm going through right now fucking has ran off with 10 G's, and I'm in the process of, you know, going to, you know, small claims court. So a lot of those things, but in the end, I know that, hey, you know, it's paying off. I mean, but there are some struggles that come along the way, especially in you know, doing your YouTube channel. What have been some of the struggle? You know, can you share some of the struggles that you've had, you know, along the way, to tell the viewers that, hey, it's not just as easy like you mentioned. Hey, I'm gonna get my GoPro and fucking make it happen.
Right. Yeah, because that's unfortunately what not everyone sees, but those that are blind to it and just have tunnel vision of, oh, he makes videos, their success. The struggles, I think, especially doing it for yourself, is scheduling, staying on top of things, and staying like mentally stimulant for it. Because if you know anything about Toyotas, they are outdated. They're reliable, which is nice, but they're very outdated for a lot of it, and they take their time to release the next product. So when you're very niche about it, with like, that's the only brand I do, being creative and coming up with content is definitely not a struggle, but one of those things you always have to think about, like, what's the next video, kind of like what you're saying. So I think that's the biggest thing. And then just getting the confidence to reach out to these companies too for parts, big household name companies and stuff. I have tire brands, not really like a tire deal going on, but you know, to be able to work with brands like that, it takes some courage to just finally do it. But it goes back to what you're saying, is that mindset of people that want it are willing to take that uncomfortable step, because if you're comfortable, you've plateaued, you're not going anywhere. It's that next step that you have to take, that really makes stuff happen, I feel. And you always got to be moving forward.
Yeah, it's like that whole, you know, I don't know if you got to do recruiting when in the Air Force, but when I was a recruiter, I mean, this guy, my OIC, the you know, of our office, usually it's an enlisted person, you know, and I've been in longer than that guy in the Marine Corps, but the dude, I mean, this dude could sell ice cream to a freaking Eskimo. I mean, dude was good, but he's like, hey man, you just gotta have that mindset. Hey, you want to be a Marine? No, fuck it. Next, hey, you want to be a Marine? Because somewhere along the way, someone's gonna say yes, you know, and you just gotta have, like you said, you know, you just got to approach. Hey, would you like me to rate your stuff, or you want to throw it on mine? No, okay, next, you know, move on. And somebody's gonna say yes, and then like, shit, hell yes. You know, if you have a platform, of course, you know, we would love to be a part of that. You know,
Yeah, and those companies are the best too, because instead of just going for what I think will be viral, or not viral, but what I think would resonate with a lot of people, the coolest thing about this has been able to reach out to smaller companies, or smaller companies reaching out to me, because I have more of a platform and a reach than they do, especially in the beginning. There's a lot of smaller companies that I worked with that now are doing really good, not just because of me, but because they were taking that leap of faith as well, and putting trust in all these influencers and people to get their product out there as well. So there's a lot of stuff like on this spider web that just touches everything, which is pretty cool. It's a good thing.
Yeah. What I love about when I was, looking at some of your binging on some of your videos, I was actually listening to them, my way to work. The way, for me as a viewer, it's like, damn, you don't come across as, it's as not salesy in the sense like, hey, what's up, everybody? Now we're gonna, but you're like,
Right.
hey, dudes, what's going on? It's like, hey, it's this guy that, he could be my neighbor, or hey,
Right.
he could be this, one of my buddies that we hang out. Like you come across as that dude that, oh, hey, yo, my buddy's, let me take you to my buddy's garage because hey, he knows this shit and he's gonna school you. And that's how you come across. And so it's like very, very organic, very, very down to earth guy. And I mean, and you said, yeah, you're not exclusive or whatever. It's just like, hey, let's check this stuff out, see how it's gonna play out in the vehicle. Or hey, I'm gonna ride on this. I love the video on the hatchback when you got to go to the track.
Oh, dude, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I was trying to I was trying to show emotions at the same time, but I was still trying to hold on, because I mean, I was ripping around that track myself, and I haven't posted those videos yet because the footage didn't come out as good as I wanted it to. But the way I was driving the track compared to the way he was driving the track, I mean, I drove just like I was Miss Daisy, I guess, and they're like hauling ass around it too. But I mean, yeah, man, I tried to be as organic as possible and as laid back as possible, but still try to give as much information about a product, especially now, because I get a lot of products for free. Obviously, I mean, they're not free, but it's an exchange for content production to showcase their product. So I'm trying to find that good blend of when I get an expensive product to still show some flaws in it, which I do. But I do talk up stuff a bit when I know it's good. But I try to still allow the viewer to make the informed decision for themselves if they really want it. So like, I'll talk it up. I'll do some flaws that it may have. But at the end of the day, like if someone's going to spend $1,000, they need to do more than like a 3-minute video research that I provide. So, I mean, I'm just a little sprinkle in that whole sprinkle of a cake of research that they're going to do. So I just try to get straight to the point, talk about it. Hey, this is a great product. There are some flaws, or even sometimes too, I've had companies reach out and I say, hey, I'm honest on my YouTube. So if your product's shit, it's shit. I'll say it's shit, but I'll let you guys know that. And I mean, I've recorded videos and have told the companies like, hey, I'm about to post this, but this product like is not good. Do you want me to still post this or what? And the companies I appreciate are the ones that say, yeah, go ahead and post it. Let us know what we need to work on. And they'll do that. So that's cool. Or other ones are like, no, it's okay. Don't post it. Just keep the product or sell it. I'm like, okay, so you really don't give a crap about your product. And that's easy way to not work with people again when they don't even, I don't know, they're just drop shipping stuff or something like that, you know?
Well, I mean, they don't take kindly to, I guess you could say, constructive criticism, because I mean, how, there's a reason why folks like you are out there doing what they're supposed to be doing and reviewing this stuff. So that way, the company, like you said, cares about their product. They should be like, yeah, you know what? Tell me how I can fix it. Don't tell me just screwed up or whatever. But, give me a solution. It's kind of like being in the military. Hey, sir, no, we can't do it that way. But here's another course of action. Here's another COA that how we can do that mission. Yeah, say it's got to be like that. I mean, if not, then don't don't put something out there because people, you know, in a day and age where technology and everything, you know, we walk around with these computers
Right.
and everything is at the tip of your fingers. You know, one bad review from, you know, somebody like you, I mean, can basically put a company, you know, screeching halt on production
Oh
on a
yeah.
company. So,
And
you know,
and that's that's what I've learned too. With all your analytics and crap you can get for YouTube and Instagram and everything, even though a post may get, you know, 50 likes, 10 likes, 100 likes, whatever, it's called your reach too. So X amount of people saw that post. They didn't have any engagement with the post, but they saw it. So, and
right.
who knows when they sent it to someone to look at, how many people they sent it to. It's like the telephone game, right? And then the
Right.
wrong thing gets said at the end of it. And it's like, I didn't even mean that. So it's a very sensitive thing. I mean, same with the military too. You don't want to say the wrong thing and then it get into the wrong hands. So I feel like I've learned a lot from the military and am subtly applying it to this new business or YouTube channel as well. So the 9 years in the military definitely wasn't a waste. As
Oh,
many,
no.
yeah, as many people that get out of the military, they say it was a waste of time. They didn't benefit really from it because they weren't really looking at how much it benefited them. I feel.
No, you're right. I think it's just with anything and you know, and the mindset. I'm not gonna say like your upbringing because I think we're, you know, and that's another topic for a conversation. But you know, we're programmed even before, you know, you're made together. But if you're already pre-programmed for that stuff, you know what I mean, you're gonna go in that pathway of, hey, you know what, I'm gonna do things this way, or hey, I'm gonna make the best out of you know where I'm at. I mean, shit. If you're gonna be a janitor, you're gonna be that, you know, that cool friggin' janitor that gets shit done. You know what I mean?
Right.
It doesn't matter. You know, you could be whatever, cleaning shitters. Doesn't matter. So, you know, in your case, I mean, you're putting these products out there, and I mean, you're giving them God honest review because you have, and going back to the whole, you know, having the computer in your hands and all this information. It's not like as YouTube, you know, progresses and everything. I mean, that's one of the first things I do. I'm going to buy a product, but let me see what's out there on YouTube.
Right.
Oh, I'm a motorcycle guy.
Right.
Let me see. Okay, yep. No, this is shit. Not buying it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'll do my own research. And you have to. You just can't. Oh, hey, you know, John said so, and then they come back. Hey, man, you steered me the wrong way, man.
Yeah. Oh, I get those comments all the time. I'm like, dude. I mean, it's $800 or it's 200 or it's a $5 part, right? And you come back and you're ripping me about it. It's like, I told you my opinions on it. And there's so many people too that just scrub through videos. I mean, and I try to make my videos as short as possible, even though that's not the best, which it's not the best for YouTube. But I mean, how long can you talk about a very simple thing? You know, if some of my more lengthy videos are full installs, but I mean, I don't know. I try to just get straight to the point because, I mean, if you're looking at motorcycle stuff, you want to know, I don't know, a simple cell phone mount or something like that you can put on your handlebar. And you find this dude's video that has millions of views because it's 10 minutes long and the YouTube algorithm liked him. And you click into the video and he's talking about what his fucking dog did for 5 minutes. And it's like, I don't care about the vloggy stuff. I just want to know about the product. So that's what I try to just get to the point right away and just showcase it.
No, I think the length of the videos is, I mean, it's great. And not to pump up Mike Rowe, but I mean, I follow Mike Rowe. I listen to his podcast. I watch his TV shows, but his podcast, you know, it's called The Way I Heard It, and it's a spinoff of, and that's the story. It used to be by this other radio announcer back in the day. Anyways, who used to be short stories, and his podcast is, you know, very short, 8 minute, you know, 8 minute tops, you know, the stories. And he goes, hey, it's a short podcast for the short attention span, for the short attention mind. And you're right. You know, in a day and age, again, we're bombarded with this shit. People are like this. They want to move on to the next thing. So, but yeah, I mean, as soon as I was like, when Kevin told me, hey, this is his channel, check it out. And I was like, I mean, I was hooked, dude. Especially that video. I really love the video when you're going around, and the dude, is he's like, hey man, what's your name, John? Oh, hey, I'm
Yeah.
John. And he's all like, drifting. He goes, now we pick it up. I mean, so smooth. I was like, man, and I thought you guys were going kind of slow, but
Yeah. Well, and it's so hard to really capture how fast that car was, because when I was editing the video, I was like, dude, this looks so slow. But he was going really, really fast. But it's funny you say that, because I mean, he's a professional
Right.
driver, right? So when I got an incentive flight in the back of the F-16, because as the enlisted personnel, I was never really able to be in the jet. I only fixed the jet. But when we would go on TDYs and stuff, they would just keep pumping people through to just sit in the back seat of our D model F-16s and get incentive rides. And we were in Alaska, and I finally got my incentive ride, and it was an hour-ish flight, like aerial refuel, pretty much like the pinnacle of flights that you could do over the Alaska landscape. It was so fucking awesome. But we're pulling 5-6 G's. I'm dying in the back seat, and he's just inputting stuff on the HUD, doing his targeting pod. He's like, all right, you see the pod we're locking on, and I'm just like dying, but he's just doing all this stuff. So I mean, because he's a professional in that career field, then you never know what someone does until like you really witness it firsthand. It was very, very cool.
Yeah, I got to ride once. After I retired, I got my racing license at Chuckwalla Valley Raceway with the folks over there with, Rich Stamp, Jason Prittmore, who his dad, I think it's Robert Prittmore, is in the museum for motorcycle racing at the museum and stuff. And he was inducted. Anyways, with and Jason Prittmore, he's a MotoGP racer. I mean, the dude is amazing. And he's going through the track, and he's briefing me, hey, dude, it's like a pilot, hey, dude, we're going to get on the track. Just hold on to the handles. Give me a little wiggle room. Look where I look, and just lean where I lean. And, we'll see what happens. Because after the first lap, I'll tap your leg, give you a thumbs up. You give me yours, and we'll see what happens. Dude, that first lap, I mean, my hands felt like I was peeling off. It's a motorcycle with handles on the tank. And when I finally relaxed, I was like, we were both scraping knees, whatever. And then on that second lap, dude, he gives me the thumbs up, and I give him the same shit. Bro, we would go to a curve, and I mean, boom, scraping knees, and then he would come out, power wheelie, boom, and then here comes another curve, put the wheel down, bam, lean. I got out of that bike, and I was like, I was trembling, seeing little stars, and I'm like, holy shit. I was so pumped. I was like, holy shit, man.
Right.
I'm like, I was so nervous throughout the whole thing, and he's like, dude, me too.
Oh, God.
But it was so awesome, man. I mean, it's not an F-16, but I was just like so pumped, and the dude looked so comfortable doing it. I mean, and it was a great thing. I mean, who gets to be on an F-16, or who gets to be in the back with an actual MotoGP racer? I mean,
way cool.
Yeah, that's a really cool shit, dude. So we're kind of getting short on time, but where can people find you? Tell them, here's your 15 seconds, cheap promo. Throw it all at it.
Heck yeah, let's get it. So YouTube. So if you guys can see my name right there, YouTube, it's just TRD space John. And then on Instagram, because there's some dude that doesn't post on Instagram, but he stole the name. It's TRD.John on Instagram. So those are really the only two platforms I really post on. I don't care for Facebook posting that much, but it posts straight from my Instagram. It's not as intuitive because I have a private profile, I guess, but yeah, YouTube, TRD John, and Instagram, TRD John. You can see a picture of a blue 4Runner as my profile picture.
That's awesome, man. Dude, thanks so much for your time. Could we bring you back, down the road, so we can, catch up on some of the cool stuff that because I know, I mean, you do some cool shit right now.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Yeah, and we didn't even talk about real estate. Like we were just
I do have an investment show that I'm putting together. So
there you go. Yeah, I'm down for that, dude.
Awesome, brother. Well, thanks so much for your time. Say hi to Bree for me, and you guys be good up there in the northern area of Florida. I'm down south.
Lower Alabama is what people call this area, but I don't know. It's still freedom. It's still Florida. I'm okay.
Yeah, my brother lives in Dothan, so I know the Bible Belt.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, boss. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. We're honored, and we'll definitely bring you back, man.
Cool, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, everybody, that was make sure you check out his channel. He's got some really, really, really awesome videos. Before I punch out of here, I just always want to wrap up the show that, hey, if you've been struggling with anxiety, depression, ruminating, just having those crazy thoughts that you may want to punch out of here, don't do that. I just want you to know that I'm here for you. The VA, Military One Source, call a buddy. Somebody just did a buddy check on me before I kicked on the show. Thanks, Ken. Just do a buddy check and check on them. But if anything, reach out to me. Let me be that conversation, because everything has a solution, everybody. Okay, because you matter. So we just don't want you to be part of the 22 a day that are no longer with us. So. But awesome show. We're putting some really good stuff together. We got a great show for next week. So with that being said, I think we're going to end Dex right over here. And with that, Yut, get some. I am out of here. Laters.